taught camps together in the summer, or college camps together, and we've done a lot of coaches conferences in the United States as well as overseas, so we've been working together for quite a while. This is Shannon Smith right here. Right back here is Ryan. He works for Spirit Sports, and he helps me out and has worked and done speed camps in the last 4 years. 5 years in the summer. We do a lot of camps and travel all over, not just with high schools, but with all-stars, all-star groups, skills, choreography, things like that, and so he's been with me for a while. Right next to Ryan is Whitney. She cheers for Carolina, and hopefully next year she's coming to Louisville to try out, and hopefully she'll be a Louisville girl next year. Right next to Whitney is Pat. Pat was a coach at Carolina last year, and will be coaching for South Jersey Storm this upcoming year. Has cheered at Moorhead and was on Carolina All-Stars Open team this year. Down on the end, last but not least, I think sometimes he's crazier than I am when we start trying to put stuff together, is Lance. He's from Elite Cheer, Michigan. Elite Cheer, Nebraska. He works and helps out with Elite Cheer, Michigan. That was a satellite that he helped to get going. He's helped my kids and sent me kids at the University of Louisville to cheer for me. And we'll get him down to Louisville here real soon. He's great at the gym. He comes up with all kinds of different new tools as far as overhead spotting rigs, using bungees attached to the ground, strength exercises, plyometrics, things like that. He has a new and different way every time I go and work with his kids up in Nebraska. He has different things and drills to help make his kids better and stronger. So, he's great with technique, and we've been doing this, like I said, since he was a cheerleader at Nebraska. I've been working with him for probably 18 years? About 18 years. We're going to go ahead and get started. The first things first, we only have an hour, so we're going to be kind of jumping around. This is not a class that we're going to jump into and do straight progression. The one thing that I do want to say is that what you're all looking for is, okay, how are we going to score better? When you're looking at the score sheet, and we're going to be hammering this home and talking to a lot of the USASF people, what we would like is a clear rubric to know exactly what we need to do when we get here. Instead of, oh, surprise, change it for day two. I think this year, things are getting better every year, and every year they get better at what they do, which is an overwhelming task. But as we move forward, something I want you to start looking for when you read what is legal by your level. If that's level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it is, and Lance and I talked about this years back. If I'm going to put together a stunt section, if there's a comma, I'm going to try to add it in. I'm going to try to put together a stunt section that includes whatever is in comma. If it says or, then that means or. That means you can do a double down, or you can do a creative dismount. Or you can do, that means, for me, I would do one of each. Making sure that I have a double down, and making sure I have a creative dismount. But make sure that when you go in there, you don't put all of your money in one basket, meaning that you go in there and go, well, we did full ups. Well, full ups was one of the commas, inversions was another comma, flipping was another comma. You did 1/3 of what they're expecting to see out there, and a lot of times the score sheet right now is heavily based toward technique and toward execution. 15 points for execution. So when you're looking at that execution, whatever it is that you choose, you have to do well. But then also, difficulty, the next one down, which will kill you, is 10 points. And all over our score sheets this year, and I talked to a lot of my friends that were coaches, I see variety. And the variety on that score sheet that I'm seeing that a lot of people weren't hitting, including us on the first day, is because I didn't do all those commas. Okay, so make it easy for you. Anytime it's listed out there and is legal, try your best to put together a section that will include almost all of those things. And you guys, first of all, give a big round of applause for Thailand. They were... And you guys, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You know, there are things on the score sheet that they are not the best jumpers, squad jumpers. You know what I'm saying? They're not the best at some of those other things. But what they were good at, they hammered it home, and overkill. So everything was a comma on that score sheet. They must have did 3 of them. And if I was scoring, I'd probably give them double scoring pyramids because they were amazing. And that's what you need to do. Find out what you're good at. Make sure you hammer that home. Everything else, make sure you at least cover. Cover the majority. And also, when you are putting together, and we'll start going through some of these things and start showing you some techniques and just playing around. And if you have any questions, like I said, it's only an hour, so we're going to jump around. But as we go through, technique is the most important. So we might be trying the hardest thing in the world, but if it's ugly, it's not worth it. Okay? Visual. So everything in there. I can do a full and a half up to the top, or I can do a full up to the top. It's not that much difference in the judge's eyes yet. Starting in the next year, I would anticipate that you're going to be looking for full up or full and a half up to immediate body position to get full score. That's going to be the upper level of difficulty because why? Everybody's doing full ups this year. So if everybody's doing that, the next step up, you got to be ready for what's coming next. They're going to have to start learning to keep that body weight on one foot so they can start pulling that immediate body position. Your pyramids that right now, a lot of people 6-8 counts. In the past, I like 8-8 counts. When you're starting to put together your sections, anticipate because of the trend that Thailand has already shown and the impact and the crowd response that you're getting out of that your pyramids are going to probably need to be a lot longer next year. Now, because we went through everything. And we'll get started in just a second, but we've went through everything. We had the whole impact of dance. It's the newest thing, and everybody's we got to have the best dance. Then, oh my gosh, tumbling. Nobody can tumble like us. We're the best tumblers in the world. Well, everybody tumbles now. And then Courtney hammered it home last year with stunts. The easiest way you're going to pick up points next year is going to be to make sure that you have very good, creative, long, crowd-appealing pyramid sections. So just keep that in mind. Any of the stunts that we start putting together today, you may not be able to get 7 of them or 9 of them, but you probably can get 3, especially if you've got a brace on one side, and then that starts putting together your pyramid section. So think of this class not just as stunt, but stunt pyramid transition, because every single thing you'll do, that's the way you want to put it together. Okay, let's go ahead and...
We're going to show some of the basic techniques for body positions and things like that. We're going to go through it rather quickly, so if you have any questions, because we want to get to some of the more creative stunts that we're going to be doing to kind of show you some of those techniques. Okay, but like I said, before we go through that, we want to show the basics, because a lot of times that's people rush to get these hard transitional stunts. Okay, but then they forget about the basics. So like he said earlier, if you're wanting those good scores, okay, it doesn't matter if it's the craziest thing you've ever seen, but if it doesn't look good, if the girl doesn't look good in the air doing it, then you're not going to get the scores that you're looking for. Okay?
Double up, double down still has to hit a body position. So on your body positions, as far as hitting the score sheet, your most flexible body positions are going to be your scorpion and your overstretch. Okay, next in line as far as difficulty are going to be your front stretch and are going to be your scale. Next in line, dropping down in difficulty, is obviously arabesque. And let's face it, if I can do the body position, it's not good enough to be in the air at Worlds. That means I can do I can hit an awesome, I can hit a liberty, and I can do an arabesque, and it looks pretty dang good. I don't think anybody wants to catch me in a double down. But so that means when you get here, that would be your intermediate or your easy part. If you're doing something as a hard transition, then go ahead and hit one of those easy body positions. But make sure you show some of the back flexibility as far as scorpion and your overstretch, your front flexibility there. When you are, every day when you come in, grab your kids and make them stretch. And I'm not saying stretch on your own. I always pair them up. And while my bases are down on the ground and they're going ahead and doing their stretches, my back base will get behind the girl and we'll go ahead and line her up. First things first, we just go ahead and do a stretch. Standing up first, pull your leg up, nice and easy. And practicing, pointing the toe, hitting the body position. Whenever you do this, make sure that the hand is in front. The fist should be in line with the foot, and all of it is in a high V. Okay? You're going to work on that every day, work on both legs.
What you want to be careful with this is, once again, the heel stretch is supposed to be more to the front. A lot of times you'll see people teaching heel stretches with it off to the side, and that's more of a hip flexor move. If it's done correctly, the top person's foot should be almost pointing towards the back wall. Notice how this is coming more up in front and not to the side.
If you get diving, legs apart, double downs, watch where they're pulling from. Because if it's out here, that's exactly what you're going to get. And if they're in their heel stretch this way, and as they start to pop, they let that foot point toward that wall, that's what you're going to get also. Whenever they're getting ready to go for your double downs, you want to make sure that they face this wall. They're actually reaching up with this shoulder. You're staying square. Drop that leg and wrap. That way, wherever their toes, their last point of reference, if they look over there, they're going to cradle facing this way. If they look right here and they spot, that's where their toes are going to be, and that's how you make them land clean.
One
Go ahead.
method of getting your flyers a better heel stretch, with the knees. Okay, is once again you want to force your flyers into good body positions. Okay, one of these exercises is get her here. Notice how I take my knees and put it into the small of her back, and I keep her hips forward. Okay, I don't let her cheat by letting her hips roll backwards. I keep her here. Okay, once again I grab underneath the legs, so I'm supporting here. I'm not wanting to hurt her. I'm wanting to stretch her. Okay, so I'm here and I'm pulling. Whenever I get to a point that it starts to hurt too much, she can just tap me on the back of the leg because I've gone too far. Okay, then I just want to hold it there for probably 30 seconds or so, and then when I get ready to release, bend the leg first and bring it down. Okay, once again, you get that hamstring stretched out. It's like a rubber band. If you just let go of it, you might snap it. Okay, so you want to bend the leg, take care of your flyers, make sure they're stretching and you're not hurting them.
Okay, I'm going to bounce through these real quick. Arabesque. Hit the arabesque, stand on the toe, pull the leg up, keep the chest up, try to arch the back. Next, go ahead and move down from there. We got to go quick, we're going to run out of time. Go ahead and while you're in the back flexibility, do scorpion. Pull the scorpion up, go ahead and pull it. And once again, she's going to try to straighten her back leg, keeping her chest up.
Now the reason you put your foot on the toe is once again the weight of the flyer should be on the ball of their foot. They should not be backwards because when that leg comes up behind them, if they're flat-footed, that weight's going to start to pull them backwards. So I put my foot on her toe in order for me to go ahead and pull her up and put her into the correct body position.
If you are doing back flexibility, you don't need to do both legs. If you're doing front flexibility, you've got to do both legs, otherwise you're going to end up with jumpers like this. Okay, so for any front flexibility, make sure you do both legs. Overstretch. Overstretch is the push-pull resistance. You're going to grab, kick the leg up behind, point the toe, reach across, and Shannon is pulling toward and pushing away. Okay, and she's going to be doing the same thing. And she's got a bad hamstring, we're not going to hold her there too long. Do that on both legs. If you're going to increase flexibility, make sure that you are stretching for 45 to 60 seconds at least 3 times. If you want to maintain flexibility, once or twice, 30 seconds or less, and you're fine. So those flyers that say, yeah, I stretch every day, doesn't mean anything unless you're going to stretch at least 3 or 4 times, 45 to 60 seconds each. Got it? That's going to improve.
To increase your flexibility, you need to remember one important rule: stretch at the end. Okay, once your body is warmed up. Okay, you stretch at the beginning to make sure that your flyers don't hurt themselves when they start going through things. Okay, but you increase your flexibility by stretching after your body's warmed up.
Cool. All right, let's jump into pull-ups. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. We'll go ahead and combine pull-ups and twisting. First off, on pull-ups, several different ways you can throw pull-ups. I like moving in. Everybody steps into the sponge, it goes up. You saw a lot of that this year, right? So I don't want to do that next year. I'll show you how to do that first, and then next year I like to do something different, which would be hopefully the new thing or something that's a little bit different. The pull-ups that they did this year, go ahead and step into sponge. Pull up awesome. 1, 2, step, and up, and tight. Sponge, 1, 2. When you do this, make sure that this hand goes all the way under the ball of the foot. When you're starting to turn it, you turn early so that as it's passing in front of your face, I can grab the heel, follow through, and press to the top. Make sure that when you're doing it, not a lot of power. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. If you throw too hard, it goes up too high, body weight comes back down on your flyer.
That's the biggest reason that pull-ups are missed, is because everybody thinks that you have to throw them out the top and then catch it once it comes through. If you'll notice as they do the full up, it's pretty much done before it hits the forehead level. Okay, if you're fulling up and hitting it right at the top, your odds of missing that skill are greatly increased. So you want to finish the skill and then finish it going through to the top.
As you learn, soft knees, straight arms. So as it's going, I'm going to try to catch like that, less impact to the girl on the top, and I can go ahead and catch it and lock it out and get it to the top. That's 2 feet in at the bottom. Since a lot of people are already doing 2 feet in at the bottom, then like I said, I want to move on to something else. So I like to start trying to throw these co-ed style, meaning in the back. And the girls, they actually get more power out of this. You got to toss in the back. Go ahead and sandwich toss. Okay, he's going to throw from the thigh here. I'm just going to grab under the ball of the foot. Well, let's just pull up.
You'll stretch double.
Okay, heel stretch double. Ready? And 1, 2. And double. Ready? 1, 2. Nice job, sweetie. Nice job. Cool. Plenty of power. All she's got to do is step up on that foot. As she steps up, she's going to anticipate with her shoulders, keeping her hips and shoulders in line. As she comes around, Once again, this starts from the ground, so guess what we just eliminated? You eliminated the step or the hop. They're starting from the ground, you're going to get up 2 counts quicker. And learning from, like I said, learning from our friends in Thailand, if you watch them learn those pyramid transitions, they didn't double bounce hardly anything. Okay, the double bounce is the way that we're doing things right now, and a lot of pyramid transitions, everything they did was a slow grab and a single, and right back to the top. That's going to start distinguishing your top teams, not just in stunts, but also in your pyramid transitions to make sure that you look sharp, clean, hit, instead of, here they go, they're going to flip, here they go, they're going to twist. Cool? Now, as she starts to twist up, I got the ball of the foot, turning it around, got the heel as it comes to the front. As she's pulling, do not pull, stretch, do not pull, stretch, do not pull, stretch, pull now. As she starts to pull or stretch here, she's going to pull to that corner. As she pulls to that corner, then she's going to hollow body quick, pulling this arm up, and that's going to stop her rotation. That way we can go ahead to immediate stretch or immediate body position as we go. When they first learn, obviously do it to a lid. Once they've done that, the stretch is easy to stop. If they have a nice grip and they're learning what they do, then we're going to go ahead and continue on. We'll turn it right on to the side and score. You want to go leg, here? This is, let's do it this way. We'll go ahead and skip. We've already done the one from the toss, just to jump right on in. Next one, this is a full up, so you get full score, and it's easy. So this is a leg up here to the side, and we're going to toss it straight up to a score. Ready? And 1, 2. Stay baby. So, leg up, peg leg, real easy. He throws from the waist in the back. Once again, it's a quick up. It's going straight up to the side. Want to make sure that they keep their body weight over the ball of their foot. As they turn, you'll get credit for an immediate body position as long as the leg continues. You don't want to flip and stop and then start to pull. You want them to get used to and be more flexible so they can pull it on transition.
With this skill, the bases are going to have to rotate. They rotate a quarter turn through. So your back spot is actually the person that's throwing from the leg. Okay, the person that's throwing from behind the flyer is will become the side base rotating in. Okay.
Now, when you're doing this, also go ahead and give it to me. We'll do it one more time. Stay on the ball of your foot. Go ahead and get your grip. When he's throwing, I need to reach over. If he gets this direction, then I'm going to get stuck on his arm. That's the only tip as far as this goes. Not a big deal, but that's what you need to watch for when you're taking it up.
And when you're throwing this, you need to make sure that you move the flyer over the top of the base. One of the big things that will happen is your person throwing from the back will throw it above their head and they'll fall right off the back every single time. So make sure as you throw it, you're actually going to push it to the forward and make sure it gets up over the top of your main base.
Drills in your gym when you're doing this, take a mat, put it in front, have the girl put her leg up like this. Somebody take a waist and step it up. So they're stepping up to the ball of the foot. Here we go, one more time to the score, and then bump down sponge. 1, 2. Over the ball of the foot, nice and easy. There we go. Beautiful. Sponge. Beautiful. Okay, moving along. Like you said, full and a half up. We're going to go ahead and do that. I know you've seen it before, but we'll go ahead and do the full and a half up, and then we'll show you double up. When you're doing a full and a half up, it is a transition of people within the group, and you're only going to go 1/4 turn. So if we're going to face her to the back, then I'm the main. I start on this side. I'm going to go 1/4 position to this side. He's going to do the same. He moves 1/4 position to the back, and he moves right around there to the side. So as we move, she's turning also. Make sure you got the grip, and the important thing is for her to ride on us, okay? She can't anticipate and just try to crank. It's not going as fast as you can. It's actually going at the speed that I'm taking my step. So she just follows the main base and follow it around. Let's go ahead and go to target, and then we'll do body position.
It is, as they're doing this, it is important for the bases to practice how they rotate around each other.
Absolutely.
Okay, these guys know what they're doing, okay, so they'll just naturally pivot through. Okay, if the girls don't practice this before they try to put the girl in the air, they'll go to do it and they'll do this runaround thing. Okay, and that can't work.
On that point, have them practice just like what Shannon said, stepping with the
left foot.
Your pivot legs. So that's going to be the easiest way to
Everybody
get around
steps
quick.
with the left.
So it's not
Left.
Fluent steps, less movement. Here we go. To the target. And step sponge. 1, 2. Nice. Now hold up there. Okay, whoa.
There we go.
When you get your grip, if you are a main base, I like to always, I've got the ball of the foot with this hand. On the other hand, it's under both feet. Because when she comes around, that's going to give her the stop to hit. And you see some of those teams that are like clean, and some of those teams that are like, because they got weight in 2 different feet. I tell my girls to think of it as one big fat foot, because they got to keep their ankle bones and their big toes together. As they spin around, I've got this. I'm going to reach open hand across, try to grab both heels and squeeze them together. And that's going to give them that boom right to the top, make it look a lot sharper and a lot cleaner.
And that makes the secondary base just grab platform and just grab anything you can to help support it.
For pull-ups also, you tell them just to
one fat
so
foot.
That was my question. You're not leaning on one.
No.
Okay.
You want a trick about it? You want to fix it in one try. Foamy, t-shirt, anything, put it between your ankles. She will. It'll be amazing how quick it goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have 8-year-olds who can do it like this, and they're crashing. Put a foamy or something between the ankles, pull everything through the core, zips.
I told you, all kinds of little
You
things.
still need to make sure that your flyer is got most of her weight through her, because if you start going to immediate body positions, you don't want her becoming too
Right.
accustomed to putting weight on that left foot.
If you have a lot of trouble with that, and some girls will not get their legs together when they're coming around, they like to land right here because they're worried about falling off. You can look in gymnastics websites, and there are actually these ankle cuffs that have Velcro. So if when you're spinning around, if you click those together, you'll feel the Velcro. It's not going to hold them together so that they get hurt, because you can rip it apart, but that gives them that too. Keep the feet together.
Todd, over actually in the convention center, they have them if you guys want to check them out. It's also important for the bases. A lot of times they'll wait for the full up to come all the way around to the front before they grab. You need to anticipate and grab over the base to your right. Okay, Lance is going to reach around towards me because that's where she's spinning. I reach around for James, grab the ankles as they're coming to me, and shrug through. Otherwise, the weight is in the main base the whole time, and you're more likely to miss.
Okay, we've only done this a couple of times, but we wanted to go ahead and do it because we had some questions on double up, or people that were asking about possibilities of double ups. The double up is, if you pitch it, is a release, which I guess you can do. You can do in level 5 now, but right now it's a lot easier if you just reach across. Sometimes I get a good grip, sometimes I don't, and that means for your girls, that's the whole point. Whatever, you want the perfect grip, but guess what? It'll hit without it, and 9 times out of 10, the only person who knows it's bad is me and him. Judges 80 feet back will not know as long as you ride it, you stand up on it. Here we go.
Double up.
Double up, nice and easy. Ready? 1, 2. Nice. And fun.
It's real important, once again, as you'll notice, when Whitney goes up through the stunt, she's pulling up through her cylinder, okay, and she stays real tight, all right? They were a little bit short on the grab, okay, but once again, like James just said, okay, unless you're sitting right here on top of them, you're not going to know it, because she came right around and she went ahead here. She was a little bit short. They fixed it, okay, but the judges are watching this, okay? They're not so much watching. They're like, wow, she just doubled up, all right? And they weren't watching that finish.
Well, huh? Yeah, we'll do it again. Also, when you're watching this, you're watching one stunt. When I told you earlier how you put your stunt sections together, if I'm going to do double ups, the first thing that I'm going to do when those double ups are starting to hit at the top, then I'm going to send a basket up in the back, or I'm going to do a show and go, or that's when the fly is going to hit and come down, so it takes my attention. By the time you look back and you saw those girls double up, I'm going to have perfect grip and ready to go. So make sure, don't just settle on that. I've got to all do the same. Actually, the variety that they got in this year is going to give you more score, and the creativity in what you're doing is going to appear that your technique is better because you're making the judges look where you want them to look instead of them looking at the technique of what you're grabbing.
Hey James, is that spinning in your hand?
I'm trying to make it spin in the ball of her balls of her feet in my hand. So as I'm going here, when I start to release here, I give a flat hand here with my fingers as wide as I can. She pivots here, and as it starts to spin around, I get anxious and I grab early sometimes. But if I really release, and she did some good ones earlier, where she can actually spin right in the ball of my hand and I catch the heel coming around.
Okay, you can come through, and as the stunt comes around, it gets here and you can reach across. Okay?
That's
But
ideally what I was doing earlier to
ideal
make it
what
good.
you're looking for.
But
So-
secondary, I lock it up too quick. Too little anxious, so I gotta let it go. This is the 3rd time.
Just hit it. That was 3.
That was 3. This is before.
Ideally, you'll want to come all the way around and reach across and finish. Okay, but a lot of times that just doesn't happen.
2. It's easy. There you go. Oh, that's it. Come on. We'll get there.
Eventually, it'll finish in a double.
Yeah, it's almost, well, and I'm a little apprehensive because I want to make sure I hit it, but a little bit of a bump there and saying quit being a baby on my part, and I'd be able to go ahead and get that grip.
Are you
No, we're staying put.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Now,
I mean,
but
to give her a twist.
Who's
but
initiating?
Yeah.
I initiate with the ball of the foot just like I do with the full up. And then her shoulders and hips have to be in line. Hollow body, stay in cylinder. Okay.
You'll also notice that even for the double up, they're still finishing it right here above their forehead. Okay, they're not throwing the double up through the top. They're not doing anything more for a double up than they did for a single up. Okay, once again, the whole twisting skill is done down here, and then you finish up through the top.
Although I'm being a baby, I could bump it a little bit. I'm just being apprehensive right now.
Sometimes your flyers get a little excited with their heads when they like to spin more than one time. When he starts to spin and she goes down, I like to get on the hips a little bit. And as I see him turn, I make sure that her hips are turning too, so she's not ahead with her body and everything's starting to turn together.
The biggest thing is, I know, like he and I work together, so don't fight. Just don't fight. I don't need all of it. He doesn't need all of it. I know it's going to be wrong. I'm stepping on his foot. Everything's a little weird. You know, it's not a big deal, but that's the way, that's the essence of stunning. You know, after you do it a million times, it'll be fine. Just don't fight. We know how it is. It's nobody's fault when it comes down. It's working together to make sure that works. Okay. Full up, full up. This is easy, okay? You're going to go full around the prep level position. You're going to see me take a step out to the front, turn my hand, and then go full right back up to the top.
She'll hit a position on this one.
Body position.
Oh, I'm on it.
And then one.
A lot of the stuff we'll do while they're doing this, we'll just kind of, all right, unwind.
One, two.
Okay, like I was just telling them what to do, a lot of the stuff that we'll do is we'll just kind of make it up on the fly and we'll just start doing stuff. Okay, so we'll put things together. Whitney is absolutely fantastic because she just kind of rolls with whatever we're doing. Okay, so we're putting stuff together and we'll go, oh, wait a minute, we didn't even put unwinds in.
Full up, cheer extreme. When they did their full ups, if you watched, they did the full up, if you watch them in the back, they go full up. You can do it to a body position low and then pull it around, or you can go ahead and go to that target and body position high. Whenever you do it, the important thing is on this full up, whenever we turn it around, when it's coming down, I'm going to shift the body weight to the back hand, and I'm actually going to step forward so I can get toe. Once I get that toe, then I can step back into position to finish the full up. If you don't make this step to square shoulders, your hand can't reach that high and get around, so you won't have the grip.
So me, back base and secondary takes a majority of the heel.
Cool? One more time, same thing?
Yeah.
And then we'll flip it.
Yeah.
Ready? And 1, 2, nice and easy.
Front. Fine. Good read. Good see.
Where do you stop your hand when you come down and you stop in the chest?
Chest, yeah, right here. If you take too low, I may have been too low that way because she's like a little bit like this, or maybe he was a little bit high. If you and try to keep the feet together. Yes. All right. What's that? Well, actually,
4, if you go to the top, 3, can you just show them? Full press to
full
stretch.
press stretch.
This is a level 3. Ready? 1, 2.
And just full here and then stretch. 1, 2.
That is level 3.
Good. Level
Now,
3.
Okay.
Great area. Great, great, great.
It's great because you're allowed to full up to prep level, but we continue. It's not a continuous motion to the top. We actually full, and as long as I take that downward motion, I've created a new momentum, which allows me to go ahead and go to the top on the stretch. Any other questions?
To do that skill at level 3, don't have your girls get overexcited and really do it up here. Because if they come up through the top, then they might get caught on it.
That's why when you saw me down here, I'm turning here.
Yeah, it needs to stay
Not
low.
here.
Okay, for level 3.
What's that? 3/4? Yep, absolutely. 3/4 up, so leg, peg leg, 3/4 up to prep. Or can we go all the way up? You want here? Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And if you're allowed to do, if you're not allowed to do a full twist, but just a 3/4 pitch, go ahead and give it a lift, and let's just take it to. Take it all the way up.
Because level 3 says full twist.
All the way up to target. Ready? And 1, 2. Yeah. Full up 3/4.
Full up and 3/4.
Okay.
Full.
Full up facing the side, and then 3/4 to the front. That should work. Yeah.
We'd move.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's just a matter of moving the body position, if that's what you do, because so if we end up in that position, then we can go ahead and pull it all the way up. That's a good idea. Really good idea. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
With the back spot
And me.
and your position.
Okay. I pull up 2 bases. You go ahead and go here. No, back spot.
Only 2 bases.
Only 2. Back spot. He's just going to use your spot. Waist. Now, just like we did, this would be the easiest. Okay. Now, if this girl is big or strong, okay. If she's not, then we'll go here. When we pull up, I'm going to control and hold the majority of the weight, and then he's going to become the spotter. Whenever you do that, if we're going all the way to the top, one hand has to be on the ankle. If both hands are underneath, it's illegal, because you have to have that spotter for the extended stop. Make sure you grab it and step up. Ready? Sponge or sponge. Ready? Yeah. 1, 2, step, sponge, ankle. Oh, you got it. And sponge.
For that one, once again, on the bump down, your flyer has got a bump down or whatever. The flyer's got to really control their weight, keep them balls of the feet. Okay, don't let
Now,
them-
technically, where he was standing, I would not be comfortable with that until I got him back just a little bit more. What I look for, the judges, my understanding with the safety is, as long as you have 1 foot on the ankle and you're not in front of it or directly under it, you're okay. So when you see that full up, look for a slight angle with the arm. If there's ever an angle with the arm, then they can't claim that you are the base instead of the spotter because you're actually not directly underneath. Okay, flipping. We'll go, yeah, go quick. Just leg pitch, then we'll do the inversions. Here we go. Single arm back flip to a sponge. Make sure when you're flipping it, he's going to go leg pitch right here, which will lead right into the whirlies, whirly 1.5 and things like that. When you're doing this, oh good, thanks.
Whirly or straight?
No, just straight and rewind into the sponge. Ready? 1, 2, big toss, up, and resist. Chest up, pop that arm. Not bad. Okay, bring it on down. So when you're going, give me your, I'll talk better while I do. Here we go. This arm up here, you want to lift and rotate. So I'm going to turn this arm under so she can bridge off of it and hold tight. Once I throw here, I'm going to reach up, grab a toe, and pull back down to sponge. Okay?
Do it full.
Resist, nice and correct. And ready, up to target. 2. Oh, that was it. Do it again. Come on. Single. Get it moving. And 1, 2. Up.
There you go. There you go. Good job.
Good. So, when you're putting it together, rewinds are easy and it's only going to sponge level, but if you combine the two, you're also confusing the judges because you've given them a flip and you've given them a twist, and now we're going to hit the body position on the way up.
James,
And
grip.
that's not that hard. When you're doing it, it's the same grip that I had before, but to make sure that I can do this, I do the same cheat that I did with the shoulder grip for the full up, full up. I'm going to step to the front and get the ball of the foot, which makes it easier when I turn.
Hand.
Oh, hand grip, split finger.
Vulcan death pinch.
Yeah. Everybody makes fun of me. I've been doing this for years. But when you do this, even when they're sweaty, they don't slip out. Okay? And when they roll that over, go ahead and turn. Roll, roll, roll. It's perfect for her to resist right there on the pitch. And it's that old, when I used to work for NCA all the time, those interlocking grips, we used to come up with all kinds of stuff. Some of them were worthless. This one, I use in every single thing that I do. Even in college, if there's anything on pyramid, I always use the split finger grip.
And it's real important for the flyer to keep their elbow in, okay? If they stick their hand off to the side, they'll have a tendency to rotate in the middle of the flip, okay? So keep the elbow right there so the pivot is straight up and over the top.
Cool?
Where's the side of the back side? Like, to start.
Waist.
Okay. What do you do? Like, go straight leg.
Straight leg. Right through here. Make sure that your flyer grabbing at the ankle, going underneath the booty, or you can even help with the lower back if you're strong enough to help jam through and make sure that she's not throwing her head and has to have pressure. If she doesn't have pressure, she's going to go up and it's
Just
just
push down
The
on the
resistance through that leg is the key to all of it.
key.
And once they learn that resistance through the leg, then we'll go to belly, then we'll go to whirling.
Then you can do this. Yep.
So let's go to whirling. Okay. On the whirly, you're just going to reach around the arm here. This elbow is up, you're reaching around the back. So look where she's at. Hand, thumb. Okay? Smack your chest here, thumb. And I'm going to reach around here, split finger grip. Once again, around the wrist and grabbing the thumb. Same grip down here. He rotates back to help catch on the side. He rotates to the side. As it goes up, I'm going to lift and circle. There we go.
It's kind of ironic, isn't it?
I know. Ready, and 1, 2, just a pull. And catch the shoulder. Once we start getting solid on those, and she's solid, then all I have to do, just like I did with the full and a half up, I'm going to do the same thing, except I'm going to take one step, and she'll land back there. Then we've done whirly full and a half. Let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, I took credit. And 1, 2. And you walk it around. Again?
That's a little bit of a better transition into a stunt sequence. You're not really just going to walk out there and whip out a whirly. Okay, it's a transition to another stunt. So it's a lot easier to transition out of that cradle position. So the whirly 1.5, okay, would make the person doing this would be the back spot. Okay, so they would whirly 1.5. She'd land in a cradle, and then you could reload it going back into something else.
And we just did it facing you. If I was doing a whirly, I'd probably face you. If I was doing a whirly 1.5, probably face the side. So that way when she lands, I can reload into the cradle, do half up, full up, all that stuff. One more time, same thing. Ready? 1, 2.
Forward.
There you go.
Reload.
Little tight. Oh, okay, go ahead. And sponge. Beautiful.
Where was your left hand?
Comes across and grabs the
Yeah.
waist.
Here, come here.
She grabs the back spot by the waist like a regular co-ed toss, like a co-ed grip on the left hand. So as they go to hit, she can flick off with that hand.
Now, up and coming, somebody's going to do them. I've had 2 girls so far working this past summer that did doubles in their whirly. And yeah, you're going, their arm is connected. How's that possible? I didn't think it was either. But what happened, it's a matter of the position of their arm. She's not done one. I don't want to take her through that right now. But as they start to spin, when she's going through here, if I step across here, if this is the 1.5, all she's got to do is finish the roll. So she can actually, with that arm, now the important thing is that she get comfortable when to pull it, because otherwise she's stuck. And on the whirly, the important thing is whenever you're twisting, if these girls do this, they cannot even do a full. They're stuck. Their arm's going backwards the wrong way. It hurts. Oh my gosh, what happened? You know, and they can't do it. They don't understand. Don't duck out of it. Stay in it and pull. And for me, I'm lifting and circling with my arm at a 45-degree angle, up, fully extended. Not around, not down. Don't pull. Everything is up here to give her room to spin and land in the cradle.
And me and James came up with this technique 8 years,
Long time ago.
8 years ago.
Actually, when we first started doing whirlies, it took me 3 years to get my kids he was doing them with his minis, and I couldn't get my level 5 team to do them because they said it was impossible. They didn't see us doing it. So it's just a matter of their mindset. Now everybody can do.
I'll give you 3 tips on how to do this right. 1, make sure you got a good rewind, and the most important person in this is your back base. If that back base feels any type of smushiness in that back because she's throwing her head, stop. When we first learned and developed this technique way back when, I started teaching it in the gym, people were crashing and burning, eating backs, eating heads, all that, okay? So we went back to simple, just little rewinds to the belly. Do that. Do that till it's solid. Then all you have to learn is tell that flyer to, we're doing it on the ground as a drill, just turn and punch me. Punch, 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 baby. Thank you.
There you go.
Now look, she has pressure. I have an extension up through here, and I'm just going to do a little
Full resistance
bump
while she's
here,
in the air.
push, and then I walk, step, and cross. So rewind, separate. This is the next thing for the flyer. I love talking about whirly. Sorry. When just do a timer. Ready? 1, 2, flat back, and stop right there. Kick your legs straight up in the air. This is the key. A lot of people doing whirlies do not do this, and therefore they will arch. They will try and twist too soon. It's a simple little hiccup and go. So 5, 6, 7, 8, bend 1, 2, kick 3, punch 4. You will get it.
Cool. All right. Moving right along. I know we only have how much longer we got? Oh, good. We're doing good. All right.
We haven't got crazy.
Okay.
Rolls.
Rolls. Extended. Let's do the the prep and then roll down. Yeah, Liberty Power Press, roll down, and then we'll do it from extended. Inversions and from extended for your dismount. That's that and/or situation right there where you have your creative dismount. Some of the creative dismounts are flipping. Some of the creative dismounts are rolling down, passing through inversion from an extended position, especially at level 5. If not, if you're not at level 5 and you can pass through, even some of the lower levels, as long as it's below shoulder height, can do certain inversion. 30 minutes? Good. Okay, we're doing good. Yeah, we're fine.
It's playtime.
All right. Now, when you're doing this, it's important when they pass that they know that they're passing through the inversion. These are simple, but the hand grips are real important. From this, when they're starting to come down, hang on to the heel. We're going to do a power press first here, and as she starts to roll forward, I want this hand up. This hand's going to go on the middle of her back, right here, with her head going through. Go ahead and do that on the. There you go. Right there. So that way he's hooked around the arm and on the back. It's impossible for her to slip through it and hit her head on the ground. Okay? Let's go ahead and take it up, power press it, and roll it out. And Whitney, remember not to go all the way to your feet. Let them set you down. 1, 2. Power and roll. Beautiful. Now, like I was telling her, simple, and you can roll that back and you can take that up. There's lots of things you can do with it, but important. I don't want anybody to fall on these inversions. I've seen some people that are doing it that are trying to grab around the waist. They're trying to grab the arms. They're grabbing on the top of the shoulder. You need to make sure when you grab through. There's no way she can slip. There's no way she can get through this. When they rotate out of this and they're coming down, don't try to go all the way to the ground here. You want to stop a little bit right here and have them set you down so that way you don't impact and snap, hyperextend your knee as you're coming down. Especially right now, it's prep level we just showed you. And for level 5, you're able to do it from the full extension.
The best thing is, as these flyers are coming down, you want to be supporting the flyer, not grabbing the flyer. Okay, so as she starts to go through her inversion, you'll notice we're reaching along her body. We're not reaching across her body. Okay, if we're reaching across her body can go all kinds of places. If I'm here supporting her weight, I've got control over her. So even if she starts to come over too quick, I can slow her down. Okay. Let's do the power press one more time. 1, 2. Ready? 1, 2.
Here and roll.
I've got her. See? Now here, got her back, and I'm right across. So even if she starts to come over too quick, I've got control of her. One thing those girls do when they first start trying to do it is they're going to want to flip real fast because they don't want their head anywhere near upside down. Okay, so they're going to try to flip really quick. And a lot of times, and make sure as they come through, they're going to want to try to hit that foot on the ground. Okay, they need to make sure that they give a little bit with that. You don't want a knee coming. Stop it. Gently place them on the ground. You don't want somebody to blow a knee out coming off of a prep level stunt.
From the extended. Now, from the extended, there is not a bump at shoulder level. They're actually going to bump from the top. They bump from the top. They bump the heels. She starts to go inverted early. If she starts to go inverted early, it's scary, but that allows them to go ahead and grab quick and pass through the inversion safely instead of getting the body weight coming down while she's head first. Okay, so get that body weight rolling early at the top.
1, 2. Ready? 1, 2.
Roll. Nice job. That's prettier than the other one. Yeah, that's warmed up now. Constant resistance. She passes through, and this is the big fear is when they start to initiate that. They've got to go ahead and initiate that and pass through.
Believe it or not, the reason the one from the top is prettier, it is easier.
Yeah.
Okay, but the mindset of your kids is going to be like, wait a second, she's coming down from way higher. It's going to be harder. Okay, but when she's way higher, that gives me as a base a much better opportunity to reach, spot exactly where I'm grabbing, and be able to make contact with that flyer as high as possible. You'll notice as Pat and I do this, okay, we give her the timing shrug. She starts her pike. We don't sit down here and wait for her. Okay, we reach high, we make contact with her at the highest point possible. We control her weight. So when it comes down from the top, you've got control of that flyer's weight much earlier than you will from here because it's all here. Okay.
All right, moving on. As you saw a lot of this year, I just wanted to go through it because people have questions. The flip. When you're doing the flip, you have to maintain contact until they pass through the inversion. In the pyramid sequence, as long as, when you're on second level, it's easier. So whenever you're doing a flip, as long as they pass through the point to where it's coming down, you can release. So, but in the stunt, it's a lot harder to do, so the back spot has to hang on. I saw a lot of the front flips this year into the pike position. When you're doing that, please make sure that you're hanging on and that you anticipate the catch in the cradle. Let's go ahead and...
A lot of it you see out of pyramids this year was the front flip off the pike.
Yeah.
Okay, so they would, the second level grabs the ankle and holds on. And once again, remember, as we do all this stuff, like he said earlier, all of this stuff can pretty much be used in your pyramid transitions, and we encourage that because that's what you, especially after Thailand, that's what you're going to see.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Power press flip.
Ready. 1, 2.
Okay. Once they have her back and her head has passed through the inverted position, your back spot can release and you go ahead and roll it on over. That's easy from there. The extended is a little bit harder. Did y'all do the extended with the flip? Okay, we'll go ahead and do the extended flip. The easier extended flip is when you go to the arabesque position and swing the leg, and it is, to me, it's prettier, but you can do either one of those as long as they pass through. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, and the important thing when they do is that they don't flip forward, they're actually gainer flip. So they're actually trying to get their hips over their head, and they're taking their head behind their knees, which creates the flip and stays in position. If they just go up and flip down, that's where the person in the back actually stops the rotation, and it's more of a power ball head back. Okay, so they've got to gain the flip to be able to maintain control. Pass through, nice and safe, guys. Here we go.
Snap, go.
And roll. Right back in.
Now, you can go back that way. To me, once they've done that rotation going forward, I would just continue the rotation and go ahead and take the legs and snap them back under to a normal reload, or reload 1 foot, tap out, something like that, which would continue the momentum.
We were kind of talking Whitney through that as she did it, since she hadn't even practiced that one.
When you're doing these though, like we were saying with your stunts, think about some of the things, and then we need to go through TikToks too. Yeah. I would say that the best way to do it is to swing the arms all the way through, which would help to create that gainer flip and drive her hips over with her head going back. She can grab her ankles, and that's fine. I would pass it on to you.
If you grab here, she can also help pull into that pike position. If she's here, she's actually going to block.
Yeah, you don't want them in front.
You don't want them in front because you'll actually get here and block those legs from being able to get in that good pike position.
Cool. Hey, one more time and roll it over the other way.
Go back, front foot.
Yeah.
Just a regular reload. Back into squish or to the ground?
Regular reload instead of back.
Okay.
Yeah. Turn this side, yeah.
Watch this variation too, instead of just thinking stunts, that you can also transition it into tumbling. From there, you pop her out into a squish, you can pop her out and have her tumble. And she's totally hidden, which is a very good visual.
Cool. Okay,
Springboard.
yeah, let's do that. That's easy. This one's easy. Turn this way. I know have you done this before? No. Okay, that's okay. Split finger grip right here, you're going to face forward. Okay, this is an easy flip. All I want you to do is, she's going to bend her elbow like this and put it on the small of her back. Okay? Over there, he's going to go ahead and grab the thigh and the back, and we're going to lift her up, and she's going to pull her legs into a springboard position, and then we'll do springboard front flip to cradle. And I'm going to shove it under, so just keep that. And we'll stop it. Stop it. 1, 2.
We're talking speed here.
Pull your legs all the way back. There you go. Good girl. Now, slam your legs this way and front flip. 1, 2. And over. That's it. Nice job. Now, let's go ahead and put it up and flip it over. Okay. This grip, this is the important thing right here, is around the back this way. If you don't, then her arm is the wrong way and it won't spin.
For flipping, I know you're trying to figure out the way to grab. Whatever way she's flipping is the way you want your palm facing. If so she's flipping forward, you want your palm facing the front. If she's flipping backwards, put your hand facing the back.
Okay.
Palm.
Smart man.
Mike.
Slow, big, and boom.
Slow, big, and boom. We're going to continue. Okay. Ready? And 1, 2.
Now back it up, legs back, and drive. Nice. Nice shot.
Simple flow.
Now notice as he does the flip, okay, he's controlling her weight through the flip. Okay, but once again, as she finishes the flip, he maintains control of that hand high. Okay, a lot of times when kids start doing this, they'll do the springboard, they'll drive through with this hand, and they'll go to really reach for that cradle, and they'll forget about this backhand. Okay, remember that backhand is what's controlling her shoulders and where her head placement is. Okay, so you would much rather want to concentrate on that hand, keeping it held high, so then you keeping her shoulders and head away from the ground.
Is that one possible to get to?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we'll do it.
Okay. Just instead of laying in the cradle this time, bend your knees, and I want you to try to resist up to there. Yeah. And push it this way. There you go. Now resist through your arms. Ready? And 1, 2.
Connected.
Drive hard. All the way around.
Not bad, Sonia, not bad. First time. Not bad. Yeah, not bad at all. When you do that, I'm going to try to get the foot, but if I just do safety catch, jump up, sponge. Safety catch is whenever I say I'm going to grab thigh. I always tell my kids that. I say safety catch because sometimes in pyramids and things like that, I can't find that foot. The other guy over there, if I go safety catch, he can concentrate full force, both hands, because I've got the arm on catching her feet. Once we catch, you know on the dip, I'm going to be able to switch, go straight up to a stunt or transition or twist or whatever you want to do.
And the one key thing that you just asked, is it possible? Anything's possible. Okay. The big thing about it is figuring out how to do it. Okay. So
Now-
anything is possible.
Yes, ma'am.
There's a grip that three fourths do a lot of those suspension lessons, back spot, holding those things in the grip so that when she actually
Flip and twist.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, depending on what you need to do, if it, at the level that you're in, if you'll pop it up this direction and release with one arm, then it's just a lasso full down. Yeah,
Level 4. Level 3, you have to have 2 hands.
level 3, you have to have 2 hands. But yes, I'll show you that. Front more.
Front, really.
I know you haven't done it. It's okay. Okay, if you wanted to do a front flip with a full twist, this grip, my elbow's up, and her hand is on top here, and I've got a handshake here. When they do this, go ahead and go, yeah, go leg up.
Oh,
No, front foot. There, other way. There we go. Now, as soon as you go, you're going to throw from the waist, and then as she starts to go over, you've got to catch on this side, and you're going to step forward and catch on this side. She's not done this, so this will be.
so James is the back base.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay, so, and now actually I wouldn't be the back base, but I would do another transition to get myself back into position. Okay. All right, here we go. And my hand here, the resistance of the back of my wrist is going to go on her hip. Then I'm going to help lift with the hip, which is going to drive her hips over. Then, Whitney, all I want you to do is duck under and look at me. That's it. Here we go. Leg up, to hollow body, and spin. Ready? 1, 2, leg up, and spin. There you go.
Perfect. Good job.
Hey!
She's talking speed now.
The great thing about it is a lot of these things, once again, James is able to control her through that skill. Okay, because he's got control over with those hands. Okay, so the big thing for Whitney is, okay, she's amazingly tight in the air. Okay, so you can make those girls go through that stuff. Okay, so it's really not hard for them to do those things first try. Okay, because he's controlling her. Okay, she stays tight, all right, and she trusts her bases.
See that one more time? Okay. Watch his hand grips first. That's the most.
The first couple times when you're doing it, it's important to do the motion with the spot right here so he knows what he's doing. It's almost like if you were taking a girl and doing a dance move. You grab, turn, and just twirl her, and you come to the back.
Here we go. And it's remember the overstretch? It's a push-pull here. I'm pulling this, and I'm pushing this to initiate the spin over the head.
Again, key, back leg pressure. Otherwise, I can't help her go up.
And here we go. Ready? 1, 2, big pitch, and spin. Nice job.
And once again, I mean, if you can hold it out, you can take that straight into a smush or whatever you want to do with it.
Now, and for instance, just like right here with this, get into a prep or sponge. Switch sides. Yeah, let's do shoot through.
Okay, let's do the shoot through.
If we were in a sponge as a transition, jump up. Now, give me your hands. I want you to shoot through and land in the air best position behind me. Lance will grab your leg. You understand where we're going? Okay, here we go.
I'm translating
Same
too.
thing. Do not let her foot touch the ground. Ready? 1, 2. Shoot through. Legs go across. Land here.
1, 2.
More. Ready? 2. Ready? 1, 2. Spin. How about you think? I know you're right. Okay. So once again, it's just take a look at your stunts and what you're doing. Big tricks. I always look for the hook. Okay. The hook for me is the body positions give you your execution. Your double downs with perfect, your ankle bones, big toes together, arms down, good spin. Gives you your execution. Your difficulty is going to come into play when you add in your creative entry, your creative transition. That's going to give you your difficulty. So when you're starting to put these things together, try to make sure that you have a little of each. You've shown your execution. If you like this trick and you don't know exactly what to do, then work from that trick back to the basics. Cradle, reload to sponge. The sponge doing the show and go while the next one starts to do the spin. Show and goes are amazing. Show and goes cover every single bad position in the world. And in Ripple, I can go front whirly, show and go, front whirly. What are you going to watch? You're going to watch me while he's getting his hands fixed down there. By the time I'm done with this last one and we reload and we're out, they're already rippling back up. Even if it was ugly, you will never see it. And I watch myself. I try on my team. I'm going, that one's ugly. I know it's ugly. Ooh, oh, I missed it again. And that's the way the judge is going to be when they're out there and they see you for the first time. Make the judges go. Make them look. Okay? If you've got an amazing tumbler or something and you've got an ugly transition in your pyramid, send that tumbler across. Wave at the judges. Turn around. They drew attention to themselves over here, and you didn't see the fact that back here we had to do this kind of transition. You're not going to watch that. And yes, you can spend all day. I go over with my coaches all the time. I love Spirit of Texas is probably one of the cleanest and best, and actually Twist and Shout, amazing too. There's a lot of amazing teams. Those taking the time to do that one-step transition. Try your best, but when it comes down to it, some of these big tricks, like Thailand, transitions weren't that clean, and everybody was amazed. So yes, transitions are very, very important. Two-step, clean, arms in, thumbs in. Make sure you're doing the right thing. But when it all comes down to it, if something's going to be wow to the crowd, then use something to distract and use that wow. Because if you don't have the wow factor, it doesn't matter what you put in your routine. Wow factor will give you top 3. Being consistent and being clean might put you in top 10, top 5. Execution, difficulty with the wow factor, then you're contending. Then you're right up there trying to take it. When you put together your stunt section, remember, entry, okay, 2 to 3 body positions, and good body positions, at least 2 good body positions, at least 1 double down, at least 1, and a creative dismount. And what I always like to do in mine is also